It's not a conditioning contest. It's a physique contest. It's an adaptation contest. The goal isn't to leave tired. The goal isn't to leave smoked. The goal isn't to be sore. The goal is to give your muscles a reason to become better than they were yesterday. So sweat, soreness, exhaustion aren't how we measure progress. And we're going to talk about how we measure progress in a second. But first, a quick, subtle reminder. These cute things should be saved for rehab where they belong. Nobody built killer glutes, hamstrings, and quads using them. Nobody built round, full, lifted, firm, toned, sculpted glutes, lifting cute 1, 2, or 3 neoprene or silicone coated dumbbells. They never have, and they never will. And did I mention legs win contests? So if you want to build a stage-worthy physique, you're going to need more muscle mass, especially in your glutes, hamstrings, quads, and calves. That's where shows are won. Another mistake, thinking training ends when you leave the gym. Like we work out, we recover, we adapt, we build larger muscles, we start down that path to a new physique, a new stage-worthy physique. You don't build muscle while you're training. The workout creates the stimulus. Recovery takes care of the adaptation. The adaptation is going to change your physique. Think about plants. If you plant a seed, the work isn't over. You have to water it. It needs sunlight. It needs nutrients. It needs time. Training works the exact same way for the human body. Your workout is simply planting the seed. Recovery determines whether it grows. The amount of protein you consume and when determines how big it grows. Your calories matter, your sleep matters, your stress matters, your hydration matters. You do need to deload occasionally. Recovery isn't separate from training. Recovery is part of the training process. And even if you're recovering well, you still have to build the right physique. What does that mean? If you are training like a marathon runner, or maybe you're training for a marathon, that's going to build a different physique than one that would be considered stage worthy. In fact, most of the time, marathon runners lose muscle mass as the marathon nears. Okay. So training like a marathoner and expecting to look like a figure competitor is never going to work. Training and eating like a power lifter and expecting to look like a bikini competitor, it's not going to work. That's training for the wrong physique. So you have to make sure that the way you're training is in line with what your goals are. And again, we have to set a goal. Back to, you don't want to get in the car, turn on Google Maps or Apple Maps on your phone and randomly start driving. You still have to define the goal. And that goal for physique competitors should be identifying the look of the category or division you intend to enter. And this is where being a coach, having judged and having promoted gives me a different perspective. I see competitors building muscle for years, and sometimes they built the physique for the wrong category they entered, right? So what do I mean by that? I mean, 103-pound female competitor shows up and enters figure when she should have been in bikini. It means that women's wellness isn't women's physique. They're completely different physiques and completely different looks. We always recommend in the OCB, black out your silhouette and then look at your blacked out silhouette relative to the blacked out silhouettes for bikini, for wellness, for figure, or women's physique. And again, if you build a wellness physique that is asymmetrical about the waist, so lots of muscle mass waist down, muscle mass waist up, but not symmetrical with the lower body, and you enter bikini, you're not going to do well. Same thing, figure demands dramatically more upper body and lower body in that X frame. Wellness is going to reward that lower body dominance, that asymmetrical look about the waist. Great training is not just going to be, once you're actually training, it's not just about building muscle. It's building the right amount of muscle for the category you intend to enter. Okay. And I always say, if you're looking at OCB contests, go to ocbonline.com, go to the guidelines, read the guidelines for your category. That'll give you the black and white in text description of what that desired look for the category is. And then go take a look at the top 3 competitors from last year's OCB Yorton Cup, which is our pro flagship event, 100% drug tested, 100% drug free, like all OCB contests are. But the women that are going to place top 3 in your category, that's what that look that you read about on the guidelines, that's how it should look in real life. That's where these images came from. These were OCB Yorton Cup competitors, top 3 from a year or 2 back. So after everything we talked about, how do you know you're improving? And this is really where the rubber starts to hit the road. This is the biggest difference between people who work out and people who train. And there's a huge difference. Every serious competitor should know exactly why today's workout was successful. Not because it hurt, not because you're exhausted, not because you're nauseous, not because you're sore, but because you improve. Better is better, right? Better is better. It's not a guess. Every workout should answer one question. Am I better than when I did this workout last time? Okay, so if you train chest and back once a week, or you train legs once a week, whatever the workout is, this week you should know in black and white why you're better. If you can't prove to me why you are improving, you're just working out, you're not training. Success is a planned event. Very much so when we look at building a physique, bodybuilding, physique competition. Maybe you added 5 pounds. Maybe you performed one more rep. Maybe there was more time under tension. Maybe there was a slower eccentric phase. Every workout should move you forward in a measurable way. That's how professional athletes train. That's how Jeff, who I showed squatting 500 pounds, over 500 pounds, that's how his athletes are trained at university. They don't just practice, they measure performance. Bodybuilding, physique building is the exact same way. You should be able to know that I am better today because, as an example, I grabbed this data from one of my clients. 1 rep barbell max back squat, 285. Now it's a 440, right? You should be able to prove why you are better. If I ask you why today's workout is better than it was last time you did it, you should immediately have an answer. If you don't, you're just exercising, not training.